players who just mysteriously disappeared from the NBA. Back in 1999, Richard Hamilton was making all kinds of noise as a college player at UConn. He actually led the Huskies to their first ever NCAA championship, and people still talk about how he was named the most outstanding player at the Final Four that year. But what happened after that is actually crazy. You see, right after college, Hamilton was the 7th pick in the NBA draft. He started out with the Washington Wizards, but it was when he got traded to the Detroit Pistons that things got really interesting. For 9 seasons in Detroit, Hamilton helped the Pistons become one of the toughest teams in the league. He was a 3-time All-Star, and even played a huge part in the Pistons' shocking victory over the Lakers to win the 2004 NBA championship. But here's where things start to get a bit mysterious. As it turns out, after a legendary run in Detroit, Hamilton ended up with the Chicago Bulls, and the problem was, he kept getting hurt. Injuries started piling up, making it super tough for him to stay on the court. It got to the point where his last season was in 2012-13, and he'd quietly stopped playing without much buzz. But the strangest part was no one really knew if he had retired or not. The thing is, after his last game, Hamilton didn't sign with any new teams and didn't make a big announcement. He just kind of vanished. Instead, he took a year off to hang out with his family and focus on his health. There was no big press conference, no farewell game, nothing. But then, out of nowhere, years later, he finally spoke up. You see, it wasn't until 2015, almost 2 years after his last NBA game, that Richard went on ESPN and said, yeah, he was done with basketball. No drama, no headlines, just a simple announcement. And just like that, one of the best scorers of his era faded from the NBA spotlight almost without anyone noticing.